Eden, thanks for joining us for Family Devotions. We're going to start with number 644, The Church is One Foundation. The Church's one foundation is Jesus Christ her Lord. You sing with us, bud? She is his new creation by water and the word. From heaven he came and sought her to be his holy bride. With his own blood he bought her, and for her life he died. Elect from every nation, yet one o'er all the earth. Her charter of salvation, one Lord, faith, one birth, one holy name she blesses, partakes one holy food, and to one hope she presses with every grace endued. The church shall never perish, her dear Lord to defend, to guide, sustain, and cherish is with her to the end. Though there be those that hate her, false sons within her pale, against both foe and traitor she ever will prevail. Though with a scornful wonder the world sees her oppressed, by schisms rent asunder, by heresies distressed, yet saints their watch are keeping, their cry goes up, how long? And soon the night of weeping shall be the morn of song. Through toil and tribulation and tumult of her war, she waits the consummation of peace forevermore, till with a vision glorious her longing eyes are blessed, and the great church victorious shall be the church at rest. Yet she on earth has union with God the Three in One, and mystic sweet communion with those whose rest is won. O blessed heavenly chorus, Lord, save us by thy grace, that we like saints before us may see thee face to face. Okay, sorry, I forgot. 2 Samuel chapter 4 or 5? 5. 2 Samuel chapter 5. Here goes. Then all the tribes of Israel came to David at Hebron and said, Behold, we are your bone and flesh. In times past, when Saul was king over us, it was you who led out and brought in Israel. And the Lord said to you, You shall be shepherd of my people Israel, and you shall be prince over Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, and King David made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord.
Is that a 5, 4, 3?
That is. And they anointed David king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned for 40 years. At Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. And Jerusalem he reigned over all Israel and Judah for 33 years. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem against the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, who said to David, "You will not come in here, but the blind and the lame will ward you off," thinking, "David cannot come in here." The king and his men went to Jerusalem against the king and his men went to Jerusalem against the Jebusites, a well-fortified place, the inhabitants of the land, and the inhabitants said to David, "You'll not come in here, but the blind and the lame even will be able to ward you off," thinking, "David can't come in here." Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, that is, the city of David. And David said on that day, "Whoever would strike the Jebusites, let him get up the water shaft to attack the lame and the blind, who are hated by David's soul." Therefore it is said, "The lame and the blind shall not come into the house." And David lived in the stronghold and called it the city of David. And David built the city all around from the Millo inward. And David became greater and greater, for the Lord, the God of hosts, was with him. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David, and cedar trees, also carpenters and masons, who built David a house. And David knew that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. And David took more concubines and wives from Jerusalem, after he came from Hebron, and more sons and daughters were born to David. And these are the names of those who were born to him in Jerusalem: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphelet. How about that one, folks? Then the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over Israel, and all the Philistines went up to search for David. But David heard of it and went down to the stronghold. Now the Philistines had come and spread out in the valley of Rephaim, and David inquired of the Lord, "Shall I go against the Philistines? Will you give them into my hand?" And the Lord said to David, "Go up, for I will certainly give the Philistines into your hand." And David came to Baal Perazim, and David defeated them there. And he said, "The Lord has broken through my enemies before me like a breaking flood." Therefore, the name of that place is called Baal Perazim. And the Philistines left their idols there, and David and his men carried them away. And the Philistines came up yet again and spread out in the valley of Rephaim. And when David inquired of the Lord, he said, "You shall not go up. You shall not go up. Go around to their rear and come against them opposite the balsam trees. And when you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the balsam trees, then rouse yourself. For then the Lord has gone out before you to strike down the army of the Philistines." And David did as the Lord commanded him, and struck down the Philistines from Geba to Gezer. O Lord, have mercy on us. Thanks be to God. Hold your hands, please. Stand and pray. You lead us in the evening prayer. I thank you, my heavenly Father,
Christ, your Son,
that you have
graciously kept in the strength and pray give you
Oh.
my
and I pray that you would keep
forgive me all my sins, for I have to run by sin to live this night. Let me your hands like a
my body and
so in all things. Unless you're holy and glorious, that they have no power over me. Amen.
Dear Jesus,
Thank you. Thank you for today and every day. And today especially for what's in the air music, duplex, range blocks and toys, range dump trucks.
we came to this
and men.
What did you play?
Roblox.
You usually play the I Spy game.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus, for all these things.
Other things.
You say the whole sentence, please.
Amen for all my sins. Make bigger bright. You be with us tonight. Always and when we have. Amen.
Yeah, amen. Let's pray the Our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. The Almighty and merciful Lord, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, bless us and keep us. Amen. Sing with us. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen. Well, thank you all for joining us. Have a good night.